There are griefs that scream in the open and draw mourners to the door, and then there are the quieter exiles, those that happen in plain sight, while life insists you keep moving. These are not marked by caskets or ceremonies, but by invisible ruptures in time and self. Sometimes the soul returns from a season of profound loss or survival, only to find that the world has not waited, has not noticed, and has no language for what has changed within you. This is the grief of internal exile, the ache of having gone through something life-altering. While those around you carry on as if nothing happened, you are a returning castaway, cleaned up, smiling, shaking hands, while something sacred inside you stares off in another direction entirely. You are the survivor who cannot quite enter the feast, the one who has come home. To find that home is now foreign. It is in this space, this surreal gap between who you were and who you are, between what you lost and what they see, that agape love reveals its truest strength. Existential disconnection, the world moved on without you. When you endure something immense, a trauma, a long illness, an abandonment, a spiritual unraveling, you are not just wounded, you are transformed. Your very relationship to time and meaning shifts. But when you emerge from that chrysalis, the world often expects you to return to normal. The people you once laughed with now feel distant. The conversations seem superficial. The places that once held joy now feel dim. You smile, but it's a borrowed smile. This is existential disconnection. And it is here that agape does something no social gesture or sympathetic nod can do. It stays, it sees, it abides. Agape love doesn't rush you back into the rhythm of the world. It meets you exactly where your soul is, even if that place is dissonant and dark. Christ's love for the apostles after the resurrection is a powerful model. They too were disoriented, returning to their boats, unsure of how to live again. But Jesus met them on the shore, made them breakfast, and spoke gently into their confusion. He didn't demand explanations. He didn't say, "Get over it." He simply was there. That is agape in exile. Ambiguous grief, mourning what has no funeral. Not all griefs are for the dead. Some are for the invisible. Lost years, relationships that were never given closure, dreams that faded quietly in the background. These are the sorrows that linger without permission. You may grieve the person you were before the trauma, or the life you imagined but never had, or the feeling of being truly understood before everything shifted and you became foreign even to yourself. Agape is the only kind of love that can hold space for ambiguous grief without needing to fix it. Human love often wants answers or solutions, but agape love says, "I will sit with you even if this never makes sense." It honors your sorrow without demanding a timeline. Saint Josephine Vanini, a lesser-known saint, founded the Daughters of Saint Camillus after being orphaned and rejected by her extended family. She carried wounds that never had public eulogies, but her agape love flowed into caring for the sick and forgotten. She channeled her ambiguous grief into a stream of mercy. Agape doesn't erase grief, it gives it shape. It names the unnamed sorrows and dignifies them with compassion. Post-traumatic estrangement, when you can't relate anymore. After trauma, the world looks different. It sounds different, the small talk grates, the party feels too loud, the trivial concerns of others feel impossibly far away. It's not that you've grown cold, it's that you've seen a truth others haven't, and it has reordered your soul. In this estrangement, people may see you as distant or strange, but it's not distance. It's a quiet reverence for the life you barely held onto. It's the sacred hush that follows inner survival. You've changed, and now you must learn to love again in a world that doesn't understand what you've survived. Agape is not offended by your silence. It does not shame your withdrawal. It walks beside you patiently as you relearn how to live. One sees this in the life of Saint Seraphina, a girl who suffered disfigurement and paralysis in medieval Italy. Her body withered, but her heart did not. People misunderstood her, feared her, even mocked her. But Seraphina loved without bitterness. She held a form of agape that did not require others to get her. She simply loved, because God did. Agape is not dependent on mutual understanding. It is rooted in presence. It says, even if we live in different emotional universes, I will not leave. Emotional solitude, when no one knows the storm you carry. There is a loneliness deeper than physical absence. It's the loneliness of being unseen in your suffering. Even among friends, you can feel like the one at the party who's wearing a mask. You laugh, but you're miles away. People say they're glad you're back, but no one asks what you lost. They tell you how strong you are, but no one asks how you survived. Agape does not require visibility to be real. It does not need applause nor acknowledgement. It enters the solitary chamber of the heart and keeps vigil there. This is the kind of love shown by Christ in the Garden of Gethsemane. The disciples fell asleep. They could not keep watch. He was utterly alone in his agony, except for the presence of the Father. Agape was his lifeline in that solitude. And agape remains our lifeline when no one else knows how to stay awake with our sorrow. Agape is not a feeling. It is a covenant of presence, a promise that even when you are unreachable by others, you are never unreachable by love. Living in the aftermath, the long road home. If you feel like Tom Hanks' character Chuck Nolan, standing at the party, hearing laughter but feeling nothing, you are not broken. You are not ungrateful. You are human. You are someone who has seen the edge of life and lived to tell no one. Agape doesn't rush you. It doesn't drag you back into the crowd. It walks you slowly toward wholeness in a world that often confuses healing with pretending. If you're navigating existential disconnection, ambiguous grief, post-traumatic estrangement, or emotional solitude, know this: you are not alone. You are not unlovable. You are not beyond repair. Agape is already near, not in the clamor but in the quiet, not in the performance but in the pause. It is in the breath between sobs, in the hand that steadies the shaking cup, in the silence that does not demand a story. Closing reflection. When you've lived through a season of exile, agape teaches you a new language, a love that does not flinch at absence, that does not require applause, that honors the sacred terrain of survival. Agape says you don't have to fit back in, you just have to be met. And you are being met. Even now, even here,